Kindergarten. Welcome to your Week 8 lesson plan with your friendly neighborhood art teacher. We're going to be talking about patterns today. So, what is a pattern? A pattern is a shape, a color, or something that repeats. 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 Did you see what I did there? We can have visual, which means when you see it with your eyes, patterns, like the guys on the bottom who are standing, running, standing, running, standing, running. Or you can have audio patterns, like when you sing. You might recognize the beginning of this song. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. That has a pattern. That pattern is like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But the thing it says is la. So let's look at some of these patterns. A repeating pattern, which means something that repeats, is the kind of visual pattern that we're going to be using for this example and for some of our artwork coming up. There are patterns that are called A, B, where A and B don't just mean the letters, they mean anything. On the very top row here, they mean circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle. Or it could be A, B, with the second row where A are hearts and B is a star. So it goes heart, heart, star, heart, heart, star. Or maybe it's A, B, B, where the third row it says rectangle, cloud, cloud, rectangle, cloud, cloud. Or maybe it's A, B, B, like the very bottom one, where it's circle, circle, SpongeBob, SpongeBob, circle, circle, SpongeBob, SpongeBob. Or it can even be like the song, where it's just A, or la, 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 3 times in a row. That doesn't mean that la is a pattern. It means that la, 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 la would be a pattern. If I were doing A and B and saying la and oo, it would be la, oo, la, oo, la, oo. Or AAB could be la, la, oo, la, la, oo. ABB could be la, oo, oo, la, oo, oo. Or AABB would be la, la, oo, oo, la, la, oo, oo. There are patterns all over the place. We have patterns, oops, I better move myself. We've got patterns in nature in all kinds of ways. Some of these patterns are going to be a little bit closer to what we just looked at. The kiwi fruit in the middle has a lot of A, B. It's got a lot of all of that all around. This has a pattern, even though it looks, sorry, there's my mouse. This has a pattern, even though it doesn't look like it's an AABB or anything like that. But look, they've got a big splotch, a little splotch, and a connected splotch there. And it tends to be the same all around the cheetah. The fern has a pattern with not just the leaves, but the tiny little leaves that make up the big leaves. And the snake skin still has a pattern. We have man-made patterns, patterns that people make, especially when it comes to buildings. Like, this is a pretty easy one to see, the brick. I would say this is like each row is a little bit different, but this row right here, A, B, 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 and then there's another A, and then this little one might be A, B, A, B, A, B. You have to look at them. All of these cars parked. There's not a pattern with color, but there's definitely a pattern with their shapes. And this library, oh, isn't it pretty? It's got a library that repeats the same arch over and over and over and over and over, probably to where the person who took the picture is standing. And look at all these houses down here. This is in Tibet. There's all sorts of squares and rectangles all over the hill, and there's a lot of color repetition too. And there is repetition in art. We've got traditional kente cloth down here, which has a pattern that looks like it goes square, 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 but each square is a little bit different. So they start with this one, which has triangles, and then another one that has squares inside squares, and these have two diagonal lines, and then we have squares and squares. And then we go back to the triangle pattern, and then we have squares and squares, and then we have the diagonal, and then we have squares and squares, and then we have the triangle. It's a very complicated pattern. This pattern up here, which has a whole bunch of swirls, is also an arch and an arch and an arch, or a semicircle. I think that's what you guys are calling them in kindergarten. These two are made by artists. This is by Peter Max, and you can see the stars are the pattern here and the stripes in the background. And this is not an actual Klimt. This is, he painted the woman's face and her hands, but another student came in and did little patterns in between to make it look like his artwork. But you can see a pattern of circles, triangles, squares and rectangles, spirals, wavy lines. So what you guys are going to be doing, let's see if I can close that or pull that up one, is in your seesaw, and I'll move myself again. In your seesaw, you have a template already present. It's got a grid on it. And I'm going to pull up my own version, and we'll talk about how you can make a pattern in yours. So you don't have to do all these steps because this will already be ready for you. But I pull up the background, I look for the grid, and see how it makes that nice grid in the background. So I'm going to click out here. And you can find different ways to make your patterns. You can use shapes, and you can pick one of these, and you can start making, click out here, and I'm going to click it, I'm going to drag it, and I can do shape, then I can do you know how to copy things? If you hit the control button and the C button, that hits and it's selected, that should control copy it, and then if you hit control and V, it makes another one. So let me see if I can pull up my document camera, and I'll show you that at the same time as when I am, I don't know if I have my document camera and my screen together. Also can't find my mouse. There we go. All right, so if you want to copy something, you need to make sure that the item, which for me was that little plus sign, is selected, and I'm going to hit Control and C, and that copies it. See, I just had it selected. This is a little bit different. Okay, and then you hit Control V again, and I'm not in the right page. That would be one of the reasons why that's not working. So this is what I mean by selected. This is not selected. There's nothing selected. But if I click it again, and then I hit Control and C, when I go back to it, and I click someplace else, then I'm going to hit Control and the letter V, and it will make another one appear. So that way I can just keep using the same thing over and over and over. And this is a pattern, but this one's kind of a boring pattern because I only have one thing. So let's pull up another thing. Let's find another shape I could use. I'm gonna, let's see, I'll use, hey, that'll be interesting. I'm gonna use that guy, and I wanna see if I can change his color. I'm gonna move over here, and I'm gonna, oh yeah, here we go. I'm gonna change it to red. And then again, I'm gonna make sure that he's selected. He's got those little, whoops, that's not right. That's what selected looks like. I'm going to make sure that I've got him selected. I'm going to hit the control button and C, and then I'm going to put him in a box. And I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to have to move him, and then I'm going to move him, and I'm going to keep making it until I've filled up my pattern. And I have done one row of patterns. That's the least that I want you to do, which means you can do a lot more for me if you'd like. Let's look at some more. If I wanted to do a different kind, I could do, let's do a, oh, now see, I want you to show, I want to show you this. You may need to shrink the thing so it stays, or it fits inside the box. So since I shrunk it so it fits inside the box, now I'm going to hit Control C, and I'm going to hit Control V. I'll make another one, but I'm going to do an AAB. So I need to do 2 hearts and skip a box. 2 hearts and skip a box. 2 hearts, skip a box, like that. And I'm going to keep, ooh, try not to move it too much. And now I need to come up with the other thing that I'm going to put in there. Let's do a circle. I'm going to change that circle color because it's almost the same color as the, make it green. I'm going to shrink him so he fits inside the box. I'll put him right here. And once again, I'm going to hit Control C. Paste him, Control V. I'm going to do it again. Move it over here. And now I have a pattern that says AAB, AAB. And let's do one more. We'll just finish this up. Now, I keep going to shapes. You don't have to do a shape. You can draw something. If you want to do the letter A, and then you can hit the hand, little fingers down here. You can select, oh, I thought you could. Will you let me? Nope, guess not. So I'm going to do, then I'll do, and then I'm going to go back to the letter. And it's okay if it's not perfectly the same. But I'm going to keep changing, so I'm going back to the pencil, and I'm writing the A, and then I go to the marker, and I write the B, and then I go back to the pencil, and I write the A, and then I go back to the marker, and I write my B. And if you don't like something that you've done, hey, look at this. You can erase them. So I'm going to do a different one down here, but I'm still going to use those tools. So let's do this. I'm going to do a star, and then I'm going to do, I'll change the over here, and then I'm going to do the, ooh, like a crescent, like a moon. Then I'm going to do 2, then I'm going to go back. Well, that's going to be a little harder because I don't have, will this let me select? Nope. I gotta move myself so I can, whoops, that's not what I wanted to move. Gotta move this so I can see my colors again. So I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to see if I can get close to my yellow color again. And I'm going to make another star. Yeah, that's closer. And I'm going to move down here, and I'm going to make my crescent. I know it looks like a C. That's okay. And my crescent. And then I'm going to come back up to the yellow, and I'm going to make, oops, that one looks like an E, doesn't it? Let's get that eraser and get rid of that in the middle. Oh, look at that. How nice. And that looks better too. Ooh, I want to do that in all of them. Ta-da! And I need to finish my C's or my crescents to make, yikes. Ta-da! And then when I'm done, I'm going to find the green arrow up here and make sure that you hit submit. Otherwise, I don't know that you've done something for me. Now, you guys get to see, that's the wrong window to move. There we go. Move myself again. So you can see my teacher example in this screen right here, and you will use your student example on this side to make yours. So again, your project today is in your Seesaw assignment. Look for the week 8 pattern exam assignment, and you will work on the grid paper to make a pattern. You can make as many patterns as you want. I gotta see at least one from you, but you can make all different kinds. All right, have fun.